Tony Khan, everybody, the guy who just cannot stop smoking. So, Tony Khan continues we must announce big stuff in order to make huge announcements, in order to justify something. And you're left wondering to yourself, Tony Khan, you gotta stop. I know it's 420 and you need to set the internet on fire with huge announcements. Also, you have to play the Twitter game and do interviews where you're kind of crazy and you've clearly lost your mind and marbles, which is why I recommend you hire someone to oversee Ring of Honor's development. While you can handle some production matters, you will not handle the creative aspects of Ring of Honor. You will trust someone else with that department. Yeah, that's asking too much for him. He wants to be a busy bee. And look what happened to the last guy who's currently a busy bee, and he's kind of insane these days, and he's doing unethical business practices. But yeah. So right before AEW Dynamite went on the air, Tony Khan decided to keep teasing big stuff going to happen, and reports were coming out. This happened last week when he announced that there was going to be yet another huge announcement that will shake the foundations of Earth itself. Okay, I make that last part up, but could you imagine if Tony Khan actually said that? That's when you know the drugs have gotten too much for him. Well, right before Dynamite went on the air, he was interviewed on TV Insider and a bunch of other places. And apparently one of the things that were brought up was that he's probably negotiating with Warner Media for a Ring of Honor TV deal, so a step up from what was currently going on for them with Sinclair Broadcast. Let's see. They also went ahead and and he also decided to say, hey, okay, look, I know I know I went ahead and set the internet on fire last month with my whole internet bot stuff. But I want to do a sequel because I need to set the internet on fire again for the wrestling community. So we fucking do it. And he collectively set the internet on fire again, revealing that he hired an IT experts to go ahead and look into this whole anti-AEW bots thing. Which let me comment on that first. Like, do you really need to hire IT experts for this? Like, I get from a business standpoint, you're looking into organic growth and trying to see what organic numbers are. So I get that aspect, but like, it's kind of obvious there would be bots to boost up rhetoric, to boost up Twitter accounts. Like, that tech is likely available and anyone can access it. And would it surprise me that there are tribalists on the WWE front and tribalists who hate AEW's guts for the gall of existing to go ahead and have bots to boost up the numbers of their tweet reception in order to get more trendy? No, it wouldn't surprise me. It's definitely, the question could be out. That could be the case there. Like, you could just not and DM the more well-known tribalists of the community. I won't mention their names because I'm not here to start drama on that front. But you could just DM them, ask someone, hey, can you DM them and ask them if they have bots? Like, disguise yourself as a fan so I don't have to spend money on this. And Tony Khan clearly does too much with the drugs. Especially since this whole thing took place on 420, so you know he's probably thinking, I want everything maddening. I want everyone going mad. That, and probably also he's trying to channel Matt Riddle. So yeah. So when we finally got to Dynamite, I was at work at the time, so I didn't get to see the announcement live. That makes it ruins the fun. So I had to wait till YouTube uploaded it. And they finally did it. The big announcement is not the Warner Media deal with Warner Bros. Discovery or whatever with HBO Max. That we'll wait for that when that happens. But it is instead AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. They even brought the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling here to shake hands with Tony Khan. The Forbidden Door. On the nose right there. A joint pay-per-view event special this summer that will take place live on Sunday, June 26th at the United Center in Chicago, featuring marquee matchups between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling world-class rosters. Tickets were on sale on Friday, May 6th at 11 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at AEWTix.com and Ticketmaster. Fans in the U.S. and Canada can watch the pay-per-view via Bleacher Report or local cable and satellite provider. The program will be available in both English and Spanish commentary. And the pay-per-view will be available in international markets, and fans in Japan can watch the pay-per-view on New Japan World with live Japanese commentary. With Tony Khan coming ahead in his press release, saying, as the world continues to reopen, I'm making sure the Forbidden Door follows suit, and we can finally give the fans the dream events they've always imagined. The United Center was home to one of the biggest AEW events of all time, The First Dance, where CM Punk made his return to wrestling after a 7-year hiatus. This summer, fans of AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling can expect the unexpected during this extraordinary first-of-its-kind pay-per-view featuring two incredible companies. With the president of New Japan also following suit with, as we have done for more than 50 years, the power of pro wrestling can energize people by fulfilling their dreams. I like that, and also piss off everyone who doesn't like other alternatives because WWE is God. Now it's quite an important mission for us, the pro wrestling industry as a whole. We are not only opening this door, we will show you New Japan's genuine strong style beyond the Forbidden Door. This announcement furthers the opening of the Forbidden Door, coming just over a month after Tony Khan announced he agreed to acquire the assets of Ring of Honor, and less than 3 weeks after he produced the Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor special on the pay-per-view in Dallas, featuring a number of major title changes, including alumni appearances, including Samoa Joe, Young Bucks, Wheeler Yuta, Jay Lethal, Lee Moriarty, Matt Sydal, Sonji Dutt, and Mercedes Martinez. And during this big announcement during the show, they instead not to have Tony Khan make the announcement or have the New Japan Pro Wrestling president announce it. No, Adam Cole announced it with Jay Whitehall. So naturally that was awesome. And because they finally listened to the crossover appeal they could do with the Owen, they announced Adam Cole versus Tomohiro Ishii on AEW Rampage, which was taped. So naturally the internet is going to spoil that and ruin all the fun. Seriously, they need to do a... I have an idea to fix this. They could just make it live in 2 hours, but they could put the first hour on YouTube and the second hour on TNT to continue the war deal in order to fulfill its very end, but that's the only alternative I can think of here. So, let's effing go, everybody! We're gonna go crazy! And unfortunately, Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega will not be in attendance most likely. Kota Ibushi won't be back apparently according to New Japan officials by July, which would be after this event. And Kenny Omega is still recovering from the whole I'm trying to rip out my entire body and do horrible stunts in order to achieve this goal. Oh, and make Darby Allin look like a saint when it comes to stunts. So take it for that what you will. So, naturally, we're kind of in this state now where we're like, okay, we can't get Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, which means we can't do that match or have them tag team together. Like, they could probably show up and do something, but would you really want to waste Kenny Omega's return before he's even ready? Right when it... Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I kept saying, like, Kenny Omega should be gone for, like, the most of this year because, let's be honest, he deserves a break, especially after being told, okay, Kenny Omega, you're going to carry AEW, you're going to carry AAA, you're going to carry Impact Wrestling, and you're just coming off of being injured working during Vertigo and whatnot, and New Japan Pro Wrestling and being their world champion. Let's frickin' go! So, yeah. And this is actually a big deal. Like I'm not saying this hasn't happened before. WCW did this a lot. Even WWE worked with New Japan Pro Wrestling decades ago. which should tell you how special this is for people. Like and Jay White likes to brag about this since that's part of his character. I single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. Yes, the same Madison Square Garden that got disrupted by the Bret Hart assault all at the Hall of Fame, and we want to beat the living hell out of that perpetrator, and FTR punched the living hell out of him after he was captured, and Enzo Amore and Big Colin Cassidy went ahead and beat the crap out of our roster, and Ring of Honor didn't tell us. God damn it. Yeah, here's the thing about why this is more important than any of those shows, in my opinion, except for the G1 Supercard. Ring of Honor wasn't at its apex as it used to be. Like, it still had the Elite at the time, but it wasn't like AEW big. Like, they were still kind of iffy. Like, they did the All-In event. They could have capitalized on it and really went all in on this. No pun intended. Okay, pun intended. This is the Elite. They probably would have done that. But they admitted, the owner of Ring of Honor admitted at the time that yes, I wish I had capitalized on it. I got hesitant, and I wished I did things differently. So it's not AEW's fault that Ring of Honor went out of business. It's mostly the pandemic, but that's a different matter. But yeah. Now we got these two big promotions, and the two biggest promotions in the world right now. And okay, we're gonna probably get that WWE mentality coming in by saying, oh well, the WWE is the biggest promotion in the world. No. They don't see themselves as a wrestling promotion. Remember, they see them as a sports entertainment media company. So I'm just giving them the madness at this point instead of just letting them just admit it to themselves, because let's be real, Vince is gonna be in denial about this till the day he's croaked. But that's gonna probably be like 30 years down the line. So he's gonna try and find the the youth of immortality for himself. So I'm not even gonna fight this Vince stuff anymore. I'm just like, I'll call out for bullshit ethical practices they pull, but in terms of like, oh, they're sports entertainment, they're not pro wrestling, or they're a pro wrestling company, they have wrestling in it and whatnot. It's just, why keep fighting that? Like, unless Vince finally comes out and admits that he's doing all this out of vengeance for his dead father because his father told him no to something when he was a kid, which is my belief of what might have been triggering this whole anti-pro wrestling rhetoric he spread for the last several decades, which is telling, then there's pretty much no argument left to make on that part. But unethical business practices, I'll gladly call it out. As for Tony Khan, can you please stop with this? Like, the whole Tony Khan makes a huge announcement. That's a meme at this point. It's become a meme. Like, I'm pretty sure, this has been my thing. I have been wanting to see Tony Khan just come out and admit, were we here last month? Like, he's in on the joke. Like, at this point, can you just get in on the joke at this point? Like, I kind of want to see that. And they never do. I'm hoping he does, if he does another big announcement, which will likely be the Warner Media HBO Max deal, which that's the only huge announcement you have left. Unless you're going to go ahead and announce All In 2, which should be the event by goddamn now, which should be a super stadium show for 100,000 people. Oh, and there is one complaint I have about this whole event. It's AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling. How about you invite Ring of Honor side, since you do own them, Tony? And you also bring in Impact and Stardom, since, well, they're also part of all this, and Impact has been benefiting the most from New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff. So, do we do that? Can you call Scott D'Amore up and say, hey Scott, you want to join us for this show? Okay. Like, that's going to be the biggest publicity they could ever get. I think the last time they got big publicity was All In, which is saying a lot. So, call Scott D'Amore up and say, can you come in and do the show with us? Sure. Like, they wouldn't take that? You really think they wouldn't take that? So, yeah, I'm excited for this event. I'm hoping that Tony Khan changes things a little bit up with Impact and ROH joining in on the fun. We'll have to see, and probably New Japan getting their Stardom promotion with them, because since they do own that wrestling promotion. So, And I'm definitely not saying that because I want to see Kairi Sane show up because it's awesome. Let's go! But, though she did get injured recently, and she does seem to have developed a fetish for injury now because she worked with Nia Jax, and that pretty much would drive anyone insane at this point, having to work with her. So, props. Have you noticed that a lot of the wrestlers lately, ever since they left WWE, been weirding out with their weird fetishes? Like Bryan Danielson especially. Like, very especially. But, okay. I've already talked about that a lot, so let's move on. So, yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this whole stuff. This big moment we're going to get in wrestling, and I'm definitely going to watch it. Sadly, I wish we could go to Chicago to see it, but that's asking too much for me. One day at Madison Square Garden, damn it! I demand Wrestle Dynasty. I need to be in Madison Square Garden at least just once. But that's gonna be whenever that happens. We'll have to see. Anyways, this was Year Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling, announcing the Forbidden Door event special as part of the Reign of Pro Wrestling era. In fact, I'm now debating if I should end the Reign of Pro Wrestling label and go into the next phase of this, if this is a big deal, a seminal moment for it. But we'll have to see. Bookend here. This was the Reality Entertainment, Eric Brown. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care, and have a good day, everybody. Take care.